I'm taking 25 pounds of bulk ground beef and turning them into ready to go convenience items for my freezers. Some of them are straight up freezer meals. A lot of these are just prep go ahead things that I can use as convenience meals for my family, not from the grocery store without all the extra crap in it that is gonna act as the same as convenient store-bought food. So today we're pressing burger patties, we're rolling meatballs, we're doing meatloafs that you can either do in your crock pot or you can bake in the oven. Plus we're gonna do a tater tot casserole, one for dinner tonight, one to go ahead and get in the freezer as a complete freezer meal. I pulled out 25 pounds of ground beef last night. They've been sitting for a long time. Like I left them on my counter overnight into the morning. It's 11 o'clock now. I thought that they would all be ready to go, but a lot of them are still frozen or like partially frozen. So right away this morning, I put 4 pounds of ground beef in my crock pot. I'm letting my crock pot cook my ground beef for tater tot casseroles that we're going to be doing. Plus, I'm going to take 2 pounds of the 4 pounds that are in my crock pot and we're going to turn it into taco meat. Ready to go taco meat in the freezer is one of my favorite things because I can pull it out. We can do easy to go tacos, taco bowls, burritos, nachos, anything. It's super universal. So I'm going to get 2 pounds of that in the freezer as well. And I'm going to let my crock pot basically take care of 3 meals worth of meat for me, which is fantastic. I have 6 pounds of ground beef right here. We're going to be pressing into burger patties. I just have this. It's literally a $1 burger press. I got it from the Dollar Tree. We're gonna press all of my burger patties, put them into Ziploc freezer bags, get those in the freezer, and then I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pounds of meat that isn't quite thawed yet. So I'm gonna keep rotating that through my microwave to defrost it enough so that we can do 2 different types of meatloafs, 2 different types of meatballs, and maybe a little bit more depending on how much meat I pulled out. So we're gonna see what we can get done today, but that is the overall plan. We're turning 25 pounds of ground beef into ready to go convenience meals for my family heading into just like homeschooling, busy season, all of that sort of thing. So we're gonna start with the burger patties, burger patty meat. I'm just waiting for a little bit of it to defrost in the microwave, and then like I said, we'll get all of this mixed up and ready to go. It's gonna be super simple, super easy meal prep today, but super efficient, and I know I will thank myself for months leading into using all of these meals with our bulk ground beef.
Pressing my own burger patties is one of my favorite things to do to save money because it's super simple, really easy to do, and it genuinely does save you money. So we paid, I think, like $2.80 cut and wrap per pound for these burger patties, or for this ground beef rather. However, at Walmart right now, 16 burger patties, which is what we end up getting here, is $15. So I saved quite a bit of money here, and it's so simple, so easy, and I just like it because it doesn't have all the extra stuff in it that you're going to get from the grocery store. You can season it how you want it. You can make them the thickness that you like, and it takes literally no time. So these are one of my favorite things to do. I make sure to do my best to always have these in my freezer.
We got 16 burger patties, which is equivalent to like 2 meals plus leftovers for us, which is perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to our stuffing meatloaf. I have 3 pounds here of ground beef. I'm gonna mix that in with about half of a package of like stovetop stuffing mix. It's one of our favorite things. I'm only gonna use half because I had a knife. I'm also hoping to use part of this bag for stuffing meatballs, which is basically the same thing. You know what? I might just actually make 2 stuffing meatloafs. I saw recently on Pinterest that somebody was baking their meatloafs in their crock pot, which I thought was genius. So I'm going to try to make these in a size in which they'll fit in a crock pot for me to do. That way, when we have like homeschool co-op days and things like that, classes in the afternoon, before we leave, I can put this in the crock pot, have it done for when we get home. We will pair these with mostly mashed potatoes, but you could also do like, I don't know, rice, I guess whatever starch you like, homemade bread, homemade rolls, things like that. Love meatloafs. Normally I would throw like shredded carrots and bell peppers and stuff in here. However, my husband is eating mostly carnivore. He may or may not eat the stuffing meatloaf with the stuffing in it based on how strict he's going. Right now he's very strict carnivore because he's prepping for some hunts he has coming up. So I don't know, we'll see, but I would think that he would eat this, even if he was on strict carnivore. Anyway, I'm not adding any other seasonings to this meatloaf. I know that sounds super crazy, but there's so much seasonings and so much salt in the stuffing mix. It's going to be great. And then instead of topping this with like tomato sauce or ketchup or something like that, we will top this with brown gravy over mashed potatoes. It's delicious. Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna crack in a couple of our duck eggs. I'm gonna use duck eggs specifically because I've come to find that my family, I wanna crack them in a separate container here just in case, doesn't like to just eat the duck eggs as much as I do, but plus they're super rich and super fatty, which will be great in this meatloaf. So I've basically been using all of our duck eggs for baking and cooking and things, which is fine. They're still getting used. But I'm gonna add 3 here. Now I am going to par freeze these so that I can get them into a shape that I want. If you had like bread pans, you could freeze them in your bread pans and stuff. But like I said, I really want to be able to put these in my crock pot because I just think that is genius. I'm so glad that I saw that on Pinterest. But if you wanted to, this is where you could shred in carrots, shred in onions, shred in bell peppers, whatever you have. Especially with it being garden season and produce being so great, this is a good way to preserve some of it if you're not looking to just, you know, chop it up and throw it in the freezer. So is this about, I'm gonna throw in a little bit more of this stuffing mix just because I think it needs it. We're just gonna do the whole thing. I'm just gonna have to do stuffing meatballs another day, which is totally fine. We are in the middle of a pantry challenge, so I'm really just using what I have in the pantry and based all of these meals on what I had. I didn't want to have to go buy anything special. So there we go. I'm going to shake these and get them on a sheet pan so that I can get these in the freezer to par freeze. So I could get 2 meatloaves, maybe 3, I guess depending, right, on how big I want these things. Okay, I think we're gonna get 3 2-ish pound meatloaves, which I think should be okay. It might be a little light for my family, but my husband has a lot of traveling coming up, so he's not really gonna be eating a lot of these meals anyway. So I think for me and the kids, this should be about perfect. So I have 3 2-ish pound meatloaves here. Perfect for the crock pot, perfect for oven baking if I wanted. I'm gonna go ahead and put this whole tray in one of my chest freezers. They're gonna par freeze in these loaf shapes, and then I'll kick them off the pan, put them into freezer Ziploc bags. There is some more of our beef, and these will be ready to go for future use. So I'm gonna wash my hands, get these in the freezer, and then I think we're gonna mix up a whole bunch of ricotta meatballs, like an Italian style meatball, and then I also wanna do Swedish meatballs, which are some of our go-to family favorites as well. And then I'm gonna start prepping ingredients for our 2 tater tot casseroles that we're gonna be doing for dinner tonight, and then getting 1 in the freezer. So we're making great time today. Next, I'm making ricotta meatballs. This is a family favorite. We found these back when we were strict carnivore. Like I said, family favorite. The kids love these too. I have 3 pounds of ground beef in my tote here, and then for my breading, we're using these Pork King Good Italian style breadcrumbs. We love these pork rind breadcrumbs. These have become a staple for us. I'm using these because I have them. I'm gonna crack in probably 2 eggs, well, maybe 1 egg. Once again, I'm gonna do a duck egg, but please use what you have. Chicken eggs are obviously fine. And then I have a thing of ricotta here. This is from Aldi, and I'm probably gonna put about half of this container in here. We're gonna mix them up, roll them into meatballs, and once again, these are going to go straight into the freezer as is. I will add a little bit of salt, basil, a little bit of pepper maybe, to this meatball mixture. We're going in with our Baja Gold salt. This is our favorite. Once again, we started this salt when we were on carnivore, and especially now that I'm half marathon training, that salt is so important. So we're also going to do some pepper. And then actually last night from the garden, where is my bucket? I harvested fresh basil, and I think I'm going to rip that up and throw some fresh basil in here. Why not? It smells so good.
Bush skin, where's the bush skin at?
So my meatballs are ready to go in the freezer now. These are going to do the same thing as our meatloafs. They're going to par freeze, and then once they're frozen tomorrow, I'll throw them in some freezer Ziploc bags, and they will be ready to go for meals. This is probably 2 meals worth for us, which is fantastic. But while I was doing this, my husband called, and I have to meet him in town in like 2.5 hours. So I'm going to save my Swedish meatballs for another day. I'm just gonna put the beef in the fridge. It's not all the way thawed anyway, so it kind of works out. I'm going to shift gears to getting my kitchen cleaned up, getting homeschool cleaned up, because we're just finishing our research project. So behind my camera is just full of nothing but art supplies and things, so we're gonna get that picked up. And I am going to start the tater tot casseroles for tonight, but I didn't think ahead super great because I need to bake the tater tots in my oven, and I just filled almost all of my sheet trays with things that are par freezing in the freezer. So we're gonna get a little creative and see how that works. I might have to put it on a pizza pan, which I guess is fine. But I'm gonna get my tater tots out of the freezer when I put these in the freezer, and I'm gonna start boiling some water so that we can get our pasta going for our tater tot casseroles. That way I can have my one assembled and in the freezer, and the other one for dinner tonight I can assemble it, put it in the fridge. I will assemble the one for dinner tonight, stick it in the fridge, and then when we get home from dinner time, I'll pull it out of the fridge and basically just reheat it in the oven, and it'll be ready to go. So we're gonna shift gears a little bit, but so far so great. We got 3 meatloafs, 2 meals worth of burger patties, 2 meals worth of ricotta meatballs, plus we're gonna have 2 meals of tater tot casserole and 1 meal of taco meat that we all got done in a very short amount of time, which is fantastic, which is why I love these like no cook or low cook prep days, because they're so worth it in the end. So these are gonna go in the freezer. Let's get the tater tots, and we'll start getting things ready for our casseroles.
Tater tot casserole was a family staple in my house growing up, so I'm gonna make it how we used to make it, with cream of chicken, cream of mushroom, whatever you have. It doesn't have to be both, but you're ideally going to want 4 cans. However, with it being pantry challenge and me trying to use up old products, I only have 3, which turned out to be just fine. I'm also going to put in 2 cans of mixed vegetables. Once again, I'm just trying to use up old stuff off my shelf. If I were to make this now, how I would prefer to eat it, I would use probably, 2 cans worth of frozen vegetables. Then we're going to throw in 1 pound of your pasta of choice, and we're going to mix that all in. Make sure that we're seasoning it, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, really basic seasonings. Then we're going to put in about a pound of ground beef if you were making 1 casserole. Then we're going to load this into our casserole pans, top it with cooked tater tots. That is important. And cheese. And then you get to bake it in the oven until your cheese is all melty and everything's kind of incorporated, and then it is ready to serve. If you are putting these in the freezer, you can go ahead, top it with tater tots, your cheese, and wait for it to cool, wrap it in tin foil. Then we're going to bake this usually at 350, 375 until everything is cooked and come together. Very simple, very easy. We love these meals, and I actually only planned to get 2 tater tot casseroles, and I actually ended up getting 3, which was perfect. These pans were a little bit smaller than, I guess, my large family style pans that I use on the regular. So I wasn't anticipating to get 3, but I'm very happy that we do because it made our portion sizes just a little bit smaller, which is going to be perfect for if my husband is traveling and it's just myself and the kids. It will be just a little bit of a smaller portion for, fewer people, which I absolutely love. I ended up leaving one of these casseroles without tater tots, mostly because my kids smelled tater tots and came barreling into the kitchen to eat the tater tots. So I was a little short. However, that's fine with me because I can top them with tater tots when I go to bake it, or I could top it with like sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes, make it more of like a cottage pie. So I'm not worried about it. We got those in the freezer, and then the next morning I went ahead out to the freezers and pulled out our 3 meatloaves and our ricotta meatballs. I'm just labeling our bags, and we're going to load those into Ziploc bags and get those back in the freezer for future use. And our meal prep day is kind of complete at this point.